where history, speed, and racing collide. This is the home of British motorsport, Silverstone, and the British Grand Prix. Ready today for qualifying in this Marble Predictor video. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This iconic circuit, it's been around a long time. It's been a RAF bomber base prior to that. But here in marble form, it gives us a whole new perspective on the classic track corners that you know and love. There are our standings. Esteban Ocon leading the way. Oscar Piastri, though, is inching up the leaderboard with still a lot of rounds to go. McLaren leading the constructors over a resurgent Haas, who jumped 3 spots in the previous race to go over Ferrari and Mercedes and Aston Martin. We get things started with Alex Albon for a team that has won here at Silverstone 10 times. Go back to the early 90s in the Mansell era. You got wins in 91, 92, 93, 94, 96, 97. Alexander Albon sets a 19.50 for our opening time. It's a long track, very different to what we saw last time out in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Very technical corners mixed with long straights, sweeping turns that will keep these marbles on the edge of adhesion. Pierre Gasly in the Alpine comes through, 19.87, slowest of all. Franco Colapinto up next. Entering that third sector, past the wing. Added several years back, as was the internal portion of this circuit, really from Abbey all the way over to Brooklands. That is what was added on and continues to make this circuit faster and faster as the years go along. Bortoleto goes up into second place. Teammate Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber took out 3/4 of a second in the middle sector and gets the top time. We're now into the 18-second range. Like we said, so much history at this circuit. Going back many, many decades. British Grand Prix in general, you go all the way back to the 20s when it was at Brooklands. Aintree, Brands Hatch. For a long time, this has been the place. Isaac Adjar goes into 6th. Liam Lawson through just behind in 7th. Slight gap between those two teammates. Yuki Tsunoda putting together a good couple of sectors so far. Can that marble keep it going through the final? No, lost half a second, but still goes up into 3rd. Max Verstappen needing to dig deep through the final sector here. Around club, 4th. Here in Q1, of course, the entirety of the field goes out. At the end of it, the bottom 5 are eliminated, and they will slot into those respective grid positions. Our championship leader, Esteban Ocon, notches into 2nd place and will be safe as we're down into the bottom half of the order. Ali Behrman, not too bad, but lost it out. Goes into 9th. Fernando Alonso, purple through the first 2 sectors. That's fastest of anybody so far. And goes P1 by almost half a second. Remarkable stuff from Fernando Alonso. 2-time winner of the British Grand Prix, whose teammate goes into 3rd. That happened back in 2006 and then again in 2011. George Russell, one of the Brits in the field. 12th. That is dangerous. Few marbles left, and George is not in a safe or happy position right now. Kimi Antonelli, only 0.06 of a second off in the middle. Oh, lost over 2 seconds. Wow. Antonelli goes straight into elimination with an absolutely disastrous 3rd sector. Charles Leclerc knocks out Franco Colapinto. Lewis Hamilton, a 9-time winner of the British Grand Prix. That's most of anybody by 4 Grand Prix. Goes into 5th and will advance. Lawson is out. Piastri. McLaren as a team, 14 wins. Trails only Ferrari's 18. And Piastri will just make it through. Russell is on the bubble. Norris trying to knock him out. One Brit to the other. And does. George Russell eliminated by Lando Norris, who moves up into 4th. Russell, Adjar, Lawson, Colapinto, and Antonelli are the bottom 5, and they go no further. All times are reset as we begin Q2. Oscar Piastri gets us started here. A marble that has been climbing up the standings the later we've gone throughout this season. Piastri sits just 11 points behind Esteban Ocon and 7 ahead of Norris. Upper 19 seconds there is not what Oscar Piastri will have hoped for. Ollie Behrman going much quicker here by 3.5 tenths. First place for Haas. Out of Chapel. Through Stowe. Vale, Club. So many names that you will remember from iconic moments in Grand Prix history. And that is the thing about this championship. So many historic venues. And a mammoth crowd watching this one. Carlos Sainz for Williams goes up into first. Bortoleto right on the dot. 200ths off, 500ths off. And 6800ths sends the Sauber down into third. Max Verstappen carved out almost 4 tenths in sector number 1. Continues to build. That's a much better line through Club. We've seen several marbles hit that inside wall, but still lost a second in the process. Verstappen only to third. Leclerc. Nice angle through there, second. Yuki Tsunoda. Big difference in qualifying the last few marble videos that we've seen. Can Yuki keep pace with Max? Actually out-qualifies Max in Q2. Of course, this is all provisional. You're just trying to make it into the top 10 here. Hamilton. Bump against the inside wall. Goes down to 9th. Lewis Hamilton will be on the edge for the rest of this qualifying and may not make it to Q3. Albon, great line there. Rode the curbs, able to carry so much speed, and goes up into second place. Esteban Ocon, our championship leader, purple in the middle. And lost out. Eliminated. Hamilton survives the first onslaught. Here comes Norris, though. Unless it all goes wrong in the third. Lando goes to 12th and is eliminated. Hamilton makes it through another one. Lance Stroll. And does. Stroll goes up into first. Breaks into the 18s. Hamilton is eliminated. And now it's Pierre Gasly's turn to sit on the bubble. Nico Hülkenberg can do the booting here. But does not. Goes slowest of everyone. 2090. Alonso is last up. It's a dead heat in the middle sector. And the Aston Martin goes 8th. Gasly is out. 2 Brits have failed to move on. Along with Gasly, it's Hamilton, Ocon, Norris, and Hülkenberg. Ready for the top 10 shootout and to determine pole position for tomorrow's British Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri gets us going. What was your favorite McLaren victory here? You can go all the way back to 1973 was the first one. Most recently, 2008. Piastri 19.46. That will not be fast enough if things trend the way they have. Gabriel Bortoleto. Second, 700ths off. Here is Fernando Alonso. Back at Renault for that 2006 win. 1920 puts the Spaniard into first. Here comes Max Verstappen. 4 tenths up in sector 1. Lost 3 tenths in the middle sector. Much better line than what we saw in either of the last 2 iterations of qualifying here. And Max up to first. Made that one look easy. What can Tsunoda do? Out-qualified Max in Q2. It's not looking like that's going to happen here. And a bump to the inside apex. And it's all undone. Tsunoda is slowest of everyone so far. Ollie Behrman in the Haas. 5th. Here comes Charles Leclerc. What's been your favorite Ferrari victory? Most recently, that was 2022. You got to go back to 51 for the very first one. There'd only been one official British Grand Prix, at least in the current format prior to that. Ferrari actually got 4 in a row from 51 through 54. Moss beat him before Juan Manuel Fangio got it back in 56. Peter Collins in 58. Leclerc up into second place. Sainz with just a couple of marbles left here. Goes into 8th, so Verstappen can finish no worse than second place. Can Lance Stroll capture pole at the last? It's not looking like it, and no, goes to 7th. So Max Verstappen starts on pole for the British Grand Prix tomorrow, next to Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Verstappen will hope to cruise off into the distance, a winner here back in 2023. But there have been some fireworks in the past. Let's not bring those up if you are a Max fan. Well, who knows how this track is going to race. Plenty of room to get the elbows out and give us a dynamic result in front of a large crowd tomorrow. We hope you're there with us.